more anxious, active, and creative. So how do we turn this into our opportunity going forward? So when we are talking about anxiousness, we are really talking about let's listen to them. The new technology actually enables us to listen to them, right? So, Facebook, 700 million subscribers. So I'm a dual citizen now. I reside in India and I reside on Facebook. It's the third largest country in the world. You got to listen to them because they're telling you already so much about your business. And I will tell you, I have a slide here of what they say about Indore and what do they say about Pune and what do they say about Bangalore. I'll show you in a minute. The second is, because they're getting so active, you got to use them to collaborate. Virtually, there is no competitor. You got to co-opt. This is the period of co-optation where you work with your competitor so that you can give something of value to the consumer. And finally, it's all about innovation. Whether it's in Sarafa or it is elsewhere, I'll give you a few examples. So starting with listening. So what do you think was the biggest thing that people talked about during the World Cup? Anybody can shout? Which player, what? Okay. Yes, that's the one. So we actually measure the buzz. No player came close to the octopus. All the octopus. Nobody came close to what people were saying about the octopus, right? So we, as Nielsen, we track 40 million blogs and social networking sites to figure out what consumers are saying about anything, whether it's a brand, whether it's a player, whether it's a city. And here it is for Indore versus Pune versus Bangalore. So your buzz about your city is very limited. You got to increase it. You got to increase your buzz about your city, about IMA. And then one is that the amount of buzz is low. What are the things that people are saying? So we picked up a couple of things for each city. So there was a lot of chat about Bangalore being the best India experience, business, and there was a talk about, I think it was linked to the train bombing that happened, Samjhauta Express, and some links happening here. So there were a lot of mentions there. So one is low buzz, and second is it's not positive. It's not positive. So you got to work on that going forward because this is going to be the key in World 3.0. This is a book by my colleague. A lot of you, virtually everybody services a customer here, right? Everybody has a consumer, a customer that you service. Consumers are the lifeblood of any organization. This is how it will change, right? So a happy customer might only tell 3 people, but an unhappy customer will tell 3,000. A Bollywood film fails in maybe 6 hours because people go on Facebook and say, not worth watching, don't look at this, and the movie's gone, right? That's the world we live in now, and that's what one has to watch. Imagine any site, any product where there is no review online. Just imagine one product category where there is no review online. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. One product where I can't go and find out if somebody is saying something about that product. And increasingly, people are reviewing what is said on the blogs rather than your own site. Because they know that you will tell them one view, but if somebody's used your product, they will tell them the real view. And that's already happening as we speak. Some innovations that are happening. So Airtel was a good example. Another one was Sunsilk, gang of girls. 7 million brand evangelists for Sunsilk now. They started in 2002. huge success. And finally looking at social media and how it will impact the whole organization. Let me ask you a question here. So how many of you sent an email yesterday? Wow. Okay, almost everyone. How many of you sent a fax yesterday? Very few. So 10 years ago, we couldn't have imagined that fax will die. Today, we can't imagine that email will die. We can't imagine that. The trick of the trade is the technology that teens use become the technology of tomorrow. So a survey in US shows that only 13% of teens emailed yesterday. They are on the Facebook and they communicate through SMS. That's how the world will evolve. And you have your own opinion, but you got to embrace the change that's already coming our way. So we've set up a JV with McKinsey to really look at this social media space, because nobody understands how this social media will impact your organization, your competitor's organization, and organization that you serve, as in your customers. And that is something for the future. Second, collaborate. This is a great example of PG actually opening up their R&D. A lot of us tend to believe this R&D is our black box. We want to keep it with us. This is our competitive advantage. We just opened it up. And you look at the difference they make worldwide. There are scientists that are working for them to innovate without being on PNG rolls. So they were struggling something in the US. One scientist in Philippines actually told them what to do. And it got done much faster than in their own R&D lab. And this is where I talk co-optation. You got to work together to give a better product, add value to consumers. Some more be more anxious.